Today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how much I've spent on my two WRXs. That includes my 2022 WRX right here and my 2016 WRX in my garage. And you guys are going to get the juicy numbers about how much I've spent, both including the cars, modification, fixes, gas, insurance, basically every penny that I've ever spent owning these two cars. And yes, guys, there's going to be a disgustingly high number at the end of this. And this is a pretty juicy video. And you guys always ask these kind of videos. So I brought out some math and some numbers and we're going to go through it. And you guys are going to get the juiciest of the juicy here. And guys, I hate sharing financial information because I look like a chump because I've spent so much money on my car, which is probably what a lot of you guys think. But the one thing that you could do to make me feel better is like the video if you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments how much maybe you spent, or roast me for spending this amount of money on Subarus, because I could have a much faster car for this amount of money. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Let's get into the math. There are some disturbing numbers here because it was very expensive to buy these cars. So let's start with the WRX because this is the biggest number. I bought this car in February of 2023-ish, end of 2022, something like that. So I've owned it for a couple years now, and I paid with taxes and papers, like title, that kind of stuff. I paid $28,000 for this car. Not too bad considering new WRXs cost $10,000 more than that without tax. So pretty good deal here. Bought this one locally. Great deal, actually. In the time, I've put 20,000 miles on the car, essentially, and I've spent $3,400 in gas. I've spent $2,300 in insurance, insuring this car for my total ownership. Those two, you could say those are like operational costs, but I wanted to include them anyways because it is truly what I've spent on these cars. Now, in terms of parts on this car, I do own a YouTube channel because you guys are watching me, and some of the stuff is sponsored, some of it's ish, so I'm just going to bundle all the mods together. So I will tell you guys what I spent, and then I will tell you guys probably what you should think about spending. So for the intake, the access port, my axle back exhaust, and the tune, I spent about $1,400. I think you guys can be a little bit closer to probably $1,800 to $2,000 for that same amount, but it really just depends. I didn't get a huge deal on any of that stuff, so I mean, it's not that much of a discount, but $1,400. Exterior parts, similar kind of deal. Kind of own the company that makes most of the exterior parts, so I'm itemizing my costs to like $300 because I kind of charge myself for them. Wheels and tires, $1,200. Also got a slight deal on those. I got some pretty decent tires on the car, and that totals to $36,600. Not too bad considering I have a tuned VB with a little bit of extra business coolness, let's say, for less than a new WRX, which is insane. And that is, I bought this car new. So something to think about. VA WRX, I bought that one this past January, so I've owned that car for about 8 months now, 8.5 months, and I spent $1,800 on the VA WRX, paid $800 in tax, which is wild, the fact that I had to pay $1,800 for the car, but $800 in tax because they taxed me if the car was worth $8,000 or $10,000 or something like that. They didn't believe, even though I had paperwork saying I paid $1,800, they were like, that's not how it works, and they literally told me, you can hire a lawyer if you disagree, we won't give you plates. Wild. I've spent $31 on gas. Just shows you how much driving I've done on that car. There is some transport costs. I'm not going to count the transport costs to bring that car back because it wasn't as much as you think it would be. Had to buy a new motor after stripping down I bought a used motor after stripping down the original motor. That's $4,000. I did spend in tools alone because I didn't own enough tools to do the full project. $3,100. We're going to count that here because those tools, like, I couldn't have done the project anyways. The rest of the rebuilds so far, to what you guys have seen so far on YouTube, has cost me $3,000, and insurance I've paid $200, even though I've really never driven the car, which means my VA WRX, which is still yet to be inspected and I can't really drive it on the road, has cost me $12,931, which is a disgustingly larger amount than I wanted it to be, but I've had to put a new motor in it, which I couldn't do a rebuild, and I had to spend $3,100 in tools. So that's really why. Now, what isn't accounted in that $12,931 is the fact that I will probably get between $1,000 and $1,500 selling parts off of the old motor that are still totally okay, and other parts from the car, like the door that needed to be replaced but could be a good project door, and also things like seats that I'll clean up and that kind of thing. So there's some money that I will get back from that, which I'm not accounting for here. Probably my true cost is around 11 grand if I had to guess right now. Best guess. But that means as a total, and this is where it gets disgusting, I have spent $49,531 on my two WRXs. Now, for $49,531, I could buy a pretty fast car. And in doing all this math that I've just done, it made me rethink everything that I've done. So will that change what's happening on the YouTube channel? No. But yeah, man, that's a thinker. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that I wish I just had in cash. It'd be great in the stock market. Throw that in NVIDIA or something. Wow, I'd have a lot more than I started. But yeah, juicy video, guys. I don't mind making these videos. They are a little bit like, whoa, this is how much money I spent, and sometimes I don't love that. So again, if you guys could like the video, or if you want to see more stuff like this where I talk about costs about owning these cars and what I've spent, or I probably could tell you guys how much I've spent on all my WRXs in the last 9 years, which is probably a sickening large six-figure number, which I'm almost embarrassed to talk about. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section below. And if I get enough comments saying you want a full recount of how much I've spent on WRXs in my entire life, I will make that video. But I need like 30 comments asking for it if you want me to make it. So that one's up to you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.